Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So next problem in array series is move zeros. It's pretty much similar to the previous problem, which is remove duplicate from sorted array we did. Okay, so let's see what the problem is. In this problem we are given this array and we have to move all the zeros to the end of the array while maintaining the relative order of the non-zero elements. And we have to do this in place. We cannot create another array for storing the elements. Okay. All right. So, see, if you think in a brute force way, so one approach is pretty simple. I'll create a new array. Okay, I'll create a new array. I will just first of all count how many zeros are there in the array. There are one. I will just iterate and one by one check. Okay, this is 1 0. So I will keep a variable count zeros initialized to 0. Whenever I encounter a 0, I will increment it. So I'll go here. This is not 0, so I'll go here. This is 0. I'll increment it. Then I'll go here. This is not 0. This is not 0. So I will see. Okay, there are 2 zeros in the array. After that, I will just iterate in the array again, and whenever I encounter a non-zero element, I will place it in the new array which I've created. New array. Okay. So this is 0, so I'll not do anything. Then this is non-zero. I will keep it here. Then we go here. This is non-zero, so we keep it here. And at last, whatever zeros count was 2, right? Two zeros were there, so I will just place 2 zeros. This is one approach, right? This is one approach. But in this approach, we are using this new array, which we cannot do. Okay, which we cannot do. So we have to avoid this. We have to not use this. We have to not use this. If you have seen the previous video, in that video what we did was we have to remove the duplicates, right? So let's say there are some duplicates given, okay, and we have to remove it. What we did was we took two variables I and j. J was the place where we keep the unique elements, and I we iterate every time. So if I is not equal to the previous element, we take that element and store it at j. So this is what we were doing. We were taking two variables. J used to keep a track of the where a unique element will go. The next unique element will go. So this problem is also pretty much same to that only. Let's see how. So let me say 0 1 0 3 1 0 1 0 3 1 2. In this problem, right, what I have to do is I have to bring all the non-zero elements in the starting, and if I see guys, if I bring all the non-zero elements in the starting, right, the rest of the zeros will automatically go to the back. The question is how will I do that? So let's see how. 0 1 0 3 12. Okay, let me quickly do indexing. 0 1 2 3 4. So guys, what I will do, right, I will keep two variables again, I and j. I and j I will keep, and basically j will be the place which will keep track of where the next unique element should go. Next unique element should go. Okay, how? Let's see. Here this is my I and this is my j. I will see if my nums of I is 0. If it's 0, right, just move forward. Just continue. So if I is 0, right, I will do I plus plus. Just move ahead. Else, what I will do, let's say if I is here, I will swap ARR of I with ARR of j. Why? Because ARR of j is the place where the unique element should go, and nums of I is a unique element if it goes in else. So if it goes in else, it means a unique element, and it should go at j because j is keeping a track of the next unique element. That is where the next unique element should go. All right. Let's see how. See. Okay. So let's start iterating. You will better understand. Okay. So first of all, nums of I is 0. So when it's 0, just don't do anything, move I forward. Now nums of I is 1, which is not equal to 0. This is not. So we will go in else. In else, we will swap ARR of I with ARR of j. So 1 will come here and 0 will go here. And after that, here we will do I plus plus and j plus plus, because I should also move ahead, and j, since j has now unique element, next j position should be 1 index ahead. Okay. So j plus plus and I plus plus. So j will come here and I will go here. Now I is again 0. So we will move it ahead if condition. Then I is non-zero. So we will swap it with the j. So here now 3 will come and here 0 will come. And I and j will get incremented. So you're saying, right? Here if you see in the starting, we are getting the non-zero elements. So j will come here and I will go here. Now I is again non-zero, so it will go in else. And we will swap j and I. So here 12 will come and here 0 will come. And we will increment I and j. So I will go ahead and j will come here. Now if you see, you have traversed the entire array. I has reached the last, it gone beyond last index, and your array is something like 1, 3, 12, 0 and 0. So you have brought all the non-zero elements in the starting, and we have maintained their relative order. Relative order. Relative order means, if you see in the question, it was mentioned, right, ki you have to bring the non-zero elements, but we have to maintain the order. So if 1 is occurring first, before then 3, it should come before 3. So you cannot have 3, 1 and 12. 1 should come before 3, because here it's before 3. Okay. So basically what we have done is, we have traversed the array. If I is 0, we do not do anything. If it is non-zero, we swap it with j and increment I and j. So j is your next unique element. I hope you understood. Let's see the code quickly. So let's see the code here. Okay. Yeah. So code is here. So we have taken j and we have taken I. I will start from 0. So both j and I are starting from 0. We see if it's equal to 0, just continue, else swap it and increment I and j. So we do not have to return anything because it's in place we are doing. So they already have a reference of this array. So we do not need to return anything. I hope you understood this problem. Time complexity is constant, O of n, because we are doing a single traversal, right? We are doing this for loop, so it's a single traversal. We are going till length of nums, which is, let's say, n. And space is constant because we are not using any extra data structure. It's simply variables. I hope the video was helpful. If you found the video helpful, please like it, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.